That story coming up.
KSL Live at 5 starts now.
Thanks for being with us. A new proposal could bring some very tall buildings to the Sugar House area of Salt Lake City.
A developer is asking for some zoning changes that could allow for buildings 3 times their height, that 3 times what they are now. We are getting in position.
Yeah,
well, this is
going
not happening yet.
Crazy here.
News specialist Lindsay Ayers spoke with the city about the proposed change. And Lindsay, what did you find out?
Yeah, Debbie, well, this proposal is in the very early stages. This developer, Harbor Bay Ventures, recently bought this Wells Fargo building behind me, and they want to take it up to about 300 feet. Right now, the buildings in Sugar House are only allowed to be 100 feet, so this would bring some significantly taller buildings to the Sugar House area. Now, Harbor Bay has not submitted any specific plans for how tall or exactly what they plan to build, but they do say that they want their building to be up to 300 feet tall and include sustainable materials. Now, housing experts say this building would likely include some retail on the bottom and housing above it. It's the city who approves any zoning changes, and they say they have some very specific criteria for whether this proposed building provides a public benefit to justify the height.
We know that Sugar House has a need for affordable housing, particularly at the very low end. And so that's going to be a significant look that will take a community benefit that we are likely to say should be something that's included. That I don't think they've included that right now. There's some sustainability types of things that they've proposed that are included, which are great, but whether that community benefit is significant enough to justify that change is a whole nother story.
Now, the city says they just got this application last Wednesday, so they haven't done a deep dive on it yet. And this is a long process. Before any changes happen, it would include several public meetings. But the city says even though there isn't a plan to build yet, the proposal alone signals that the developer wants this building to be big and tall. Now, guys, just for reference, the church office building in downtown Salt Lake City, 420 feet tall. So these 300-foot tall buildings in Sugar House would be very significant. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll tell you more about the timeline for how zoning changes get approved, how long this could all take. For now, live at 5, I'm Lindsay Ayers.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. The Salt Lake City School District says copper wire.
All right, we like the sound of that. Thanks a lot, Kevin. A new proposal could pave the way for some very tall buildings in Sugar House.
Yep, a developer is asking for some zoning changes that would triple the height of buildings allowed there right now. New specialist Lindsay Ayers spoke with the city about the proposed change. Lindsay, could we really see this happening anytime soon?
Well, Deanie, it's a very lengthy process for zoning changes to get approved, but what's happening right now is that developer has bought this building on the corner of 2100 South and 11th East in Sugar House, and they want to redevelop it, but they're asking for some new zoning rules that would ultimately allow for 300-foot high buildings. Buildings in Sugar House right now are only allowed to be about 100 feet.
200 feet taller than what's allowed right now in the Sugar House Business District, so it's pretty significant.
You would expect to see a 300-foot building in downtown Salt Lake. In fact, the tallest in Utah is the 450-foot Astra Tower under construction. The church office building, 420 feet. But in Sugar House,
300 feet is going to be prominent from pretty much anywhere in the valley.
Harbor Bay Ventures, an out-of-state developer, has submitted an application for Salt Lake City to approve a zoning change.
Basically create a new zoning district for a single parcel of land.
It would triple the height of buildings that exist now, and that is raising some eyebrows.
It's such a significant change to what people are used to.
Harbor Bay purchased this Wells Fargo building at 2100 South and 1100 East. They haven't released any specific plans for how tall or exactly what they plan to build. Housing experts say it's likely to include retail on the bottom and housing above it. They have proposed using sustainable materials.
We know that Sugar House has a need for affordable housing, particularly at the very low end. And so that's going to be a significant look that will take a community benefit that we are likely to say should be something that's included. But whether they that community benefit is significant enough to justify that change is a whole nother story.
The city says it could take a year before any approved changes. There's a lengthy public input process that starts with a 45-day public input period to notify the community. Then off to the city council and mayor. City officials say the proposal alone means the developer wants the change.
People should expect that, you know, they're planning on doing something pretty big and tall.
Again, you guys, all of this in the very, very early stages. But if people want to weigh in, they should pay attention to Salt Lake City's planning website. There they can find the locations of those public planning and city council meetings when it's time to weigh in. Reporting live, Lindsay Ertz, KSL-5 News.
It'll be a noticeable difference. Lindsay, thank you.
Another Utah ski resort is set to open.